we talked about Hot Toys and InArt a little bit, in terms of what they do for each other and what they've done for the market and so forth. But I want to ask the question: how will Hot Toys and InArt continue to impact 1/6 collecting in terms of their perceived rivalry? The way we perceive, maybe they don't give a fuck about each other, but I don't think that's the case. I think that they know about each other. I think they're watching what each other is doing. Because Optical, you've been around collecting, and I know PJ has for a really long time, longer than I have. You've been able to see, there's never really been, I feel like, a true licensed competitor that could go toe-to-toe with Hot Toys. And InArt, they released one figure in a year and a half. So maybe it's not toe-to-toe. But in terms of quality that people can readily access, it's something to factor in. So Optical, what do you think? I mean, how is this competition going to affect 1/6 collecting moving forward?
I've been on the record. I said this. InArt their business model was terrible. They went toe to toe with Hot Toys, which you can't do, because this is what happens when you go toe to toe with Hot Toys. They should have forced Hot Toys' hand to lower the bar, like the price wise, because maybe Hot Toys can't do it, or will refuse to do it. They should have lowered the price and made the quality as it is. That's the only, I would say, chance that you could stand toe to toe with the guy, because their IPs are not that great. This is what happens when you go toe to toe with a guy that would, send out Anakin Skywalker to fight Aragorn. I mean, like, what if they decided to do a Luke Skywalker that's rooted hair to go toe to toe with Harry Potter? It's not a real matchup wise. I guess it's more of it would impact how you collect, as far as committing to a certain character that you would be like, now you're going to have to ask yourself, is Hot Toys going to make an artisan figure of this guy? Should I buy this DX, or should I wait the eventual artisan figure? Because you won't get that from InArt. With InArt, you get Warner Brothers, right? Maybe they'll make the Matrix in 5 years. It's all a maybe, right? It's like, maybe they'll do the Justice League that's about to be phased out by James Gunn. Like, that's what you're asking. But with Hot Toys, now that they're dipped their toes in here, before you buy a certain character, you'd be like, would they do an artisan of this? Because I really hate to double dip. So I guess, or should I reserve my money? Because artisan is double the price of a regular figure. Should I just not jump into this? Should I save up on this guy? Because what you said earlier, which is readily available, well, that's the problem. InArt is not readily available. So even if I wanted to buy their Aragorn tomorrow, I don't know where to buy it. Like, even if I do know where to buy it, which I do, I don't know if I want to buy it there, because it's still, there's a lot of floating, instances that might happen. Oh, that guy marked Terminator. Maybe they'll make Terminator. I don't know. They haven't announced yet. If they announce it, I don't know when we're going to see Terminator, right? Like, dude, it's number 14 on the queue. So
Optical, think about Hot Toys exclusive Terminator with rooted hair. Dude. That's going to sell out so fast too.
Jeez. Because they haven't made one in like forever. Like the DX13 came out, 2014 maybe?
Yep.
So it begs the question now, which is not good for Hot Toys either, is, like, you don't want collectors to hold out. Like, you don't want your potential buyers holding out because you might or might not release this figure. Because as a company, I want you to spend money, like ridiculous amount of money, on things that you don't need. But if now you started like questioning, it's like, maybe they'll announce Terminator tomorrow. I better save up for that $750, because this is not Tusken Raider or a Shore Trooper, which you can be like, all right, man, I'll just go ahead and grab this. See what happens. It's out the door. This is $700. So that might be how it impacts your collecting. Now, as far as DC, you can kind of mix InArt in that. If Hot Toys releases a DC, you're gonna ask yourself, all right, should I just save up for the eventual InArt line if it ever comes out? When it will come out, I don't know. How long can I hold up for this? So those are the questions that you would ask yourself. But like I said, options are always good. It makes things a little bit complicated. But at the end of the day, if you have options, you don't have to do a certain thing. But if you want to, it's available. So I think for me, that's how I would approach this, because the more options you have, the less valuable your item becomes. So now you got to make, a decision where, like you trade in and out figures. You don't want to lose $300 every time you trade in and out. So the more expensive the figure is, the bigger loss you're going to get. So now now you got to be more mindful on how
Right.
you buy certain things.
Unless it's a super exclusive figure. And then in that case,
Unless,
yeah.
yes.
So for example, like I bet you the Wenwu suit that I have, I could probably sell that for what I bought it for. Because I
Yeah,
think 300 worldwide, that
that's the
somebody's
least.
gonna want it. Right.
Yeah, the least that you'll make, if not make more, right?
Right. Exactly.
Mhm.
So PJ,
Yeah.
what do you think? I mean, how is this sort of well, I think the community views it as a rivalry, but I think these companies watch each other more than they let on. But what do you think this is going to do for 1/6?
I think it's a good, healthy competition, if it is really a competition, right? You don't want just one company to just really dominate the market. For example, Madden. I use Madden,
Dude.
dude. Like NFL 2K was a good like football game until Madden got the exclusive rights to the NFL, right? So now, like Madden is the only. If you want a football game, guess what? There's only Madden. Some years the game sucks and you kind of have to stick with it because there's no other choice. So that would be the case for Hot Toys if they're the only ones making 6 scale figures like of like the big name like IPs like Star Wars, Star Wars, DC, Marvel. Then you're just kind of like have no other choice but to get it from Hot Toys, right? By hook or by crook, whether you like the head sculpt or not, you kind of have to stick with it because that's your only choice. But now that you have InArt that is kind of like stepping in and not directly competing with Hot Toys, but kind of changing the game a little bit. I mean, you have to, look at what they did with with these rooted hair figures. Again, InArt came in, they said, we're going to do rooted hair, wool hair, whatever it is. And we're going to change the game, even though Asmus also did it, but no one really paid attention to Asmus because I don't know why.
You know why, PJ?
Why?
Because their IP is not as good as Hot Toys.
Exactly.
Guess
They don't have
whose
Star Wars or
IP
Marvel.
is not as good as Hot Toys? InArt.
InArt.
Yeah. It's true though. It's true because Lord of the Rings is a good ticket, but it's not Star Wars or Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I think, man, but it's good though. But now you have a choice. Now you like I said, if I wanted to pick up this Hot Toys rooted hair Joker, right? And it's limited for a certain amount. I try to get it on the website, I missed out. But guess what? Now if to me, I might have to call it settling, right? Now I have to settle for InArt because now I missed out on this one. And so I think it's good and bad, right? So the good part is that there's competition and the competition is gonna, you know, uh breed more like, maybe like a good price competitiveness or even like trying to one up each other now. These companies are gonna go like, okay, maybe I'll do magnetic hands or I'll do magnetic feet or something along those lines. Or maybe I'll have the figures talk. I don't know. But now they're like trying to like go at each other and trying to make sure which will be like the better company in terms of, things that they create. So the bad thing is that prices. Look what InArt did. InArt came in hard with a $515 or $1,000 price tag. Hot Toys said, we'll match that. And, people will still buy from us. So that's the downside to it.
Well, I think the quality is going to go up and the prices are going to go up. So it doesn't come without cost. I mean, the quality is going to go up and you're going to pay more. So
Yeah.
it just is. Rooted hair is just harder. So it requires like a very delicate hand implantation process. It's a process, it seems like. So
yeah.
So any of the rooted hair figures, you're gonna see some rising prices. But guys, yeah, go ahead, Optical. Or
I mean,
PJ.
I was gonna say, but what's next though after rooted hair?
Dude,
What's the
there's
next
always going to
gimmick
be
that's-
something. I mean, it's going to
Movable
get better.
jaw. Like you can position the mouth.
Rotatable jaw. It'll be maybe it'll be like all silicone, like J&D or something. I don't know, but supposedly that scale is not stable. I don't know.
I've seen one with a custom The Rock or something. I don't know. You probably have seen it where there's a skeleton, then you put the silicone face with the rock. And
That
you can move.
sounds messy.
Sounds kind of freaky, but
yeah, that sounds. Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to draw
how
the
they
line
want
somewhere.
it,
But yeah, I mean, but I do hope that InArt, that's my one criticism of them. I love their quality, and I've actually loved the characters they've announced so far, but I want to see them be more prolific. Like I want to see them announce more things and maintain quality. So that's difficult, but also release more things. I mean, and like I said, I know it's been pretty close to a year and a half and we got one figure. I mean, so And I get it's a startup, and they released that Joker still pretty quickly within a year, and that's impressive. But it's just been a lot of silence, and that's, I don't know. I just feel like I get Hot Toys, an established company with a very established production, but you know, when Hot Toys is releasing 50 figures in the same time you're releasing one, I mean, it's going to be hard. You know, it's going to be hard to keep that up. So
there's people that's watching can't wait to pre-order a certain thing. At some point, they're going to run out of money when your thing comes out, and
especially now.
I think I can objectively say that InArt has, quality-wise, like so far, what I've seen, at least with the Joker, is better than the Hot Toys Joker. I think I can objectively say that.
I think so too.
The problem with InArt is that they're not readily available. If they were being sold in a U.S. manufacturer here and there, and then we got a straight answer that, hey, this is how we support this, there's a lot of still concerns about how to get their items. And not only that, like availability, because the best ability is your availability, and they're not available. Therefore, people are going to gravitate to the one that they could acquire easily. So,
well, and it's interesting, Optical, because getting Sideshow for InArt would be huge as a distributor, but also easy may be a difficult word, because I'm not sure people are going to be able to get that Hot Toys Joker easily.
That's what I was saying. Like,
right.
You know, like I know, but I agree with you, Optical, but the only problem is that they made the Joker exclusive, which is going to be
well, just even we'll talk about the sculpted hair.
Yeah,
right?
The
like
sculpted hair, that's readily
the
available.
Sculpted hair that's widely available. Imagine if the InArt, so the sculpted hair Joker, for example, is what, 350-ish? That's
probably about that. Yeah.
If they made a sculpted hair 2-pack of InArt available, let's say maybe not Sideshow, let's say I don't know, Big Bad Toy Store, for example, readily available for 500. Guess what I'll get? I'll get the 2-pack, because that's a better value. I'll get 2 Jokers with a diorama for $500 compared to $350 by Sideshow. But it's not. So, you know, I mean, that I think that's what's kind of holding them back, and that's not their fault. That's just how the system works. And unfortunately, I think that would kind of stunt their growth as far as expanding the IPs, because let's face it, you might like the figures that they're doing, you might like the IPs, but if they don't sell figures, they're in the business of selling figures. And if you can't sell enough, if you can't move enough units, you're going to have a hard time funding the next one. So I think that's kind of like what's holding them back. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who had those reservations before pulling the trigger. So like I said, objectively, I'd say they're better.
Yeah.
It's just they're not available. So
yeah.
Right.
The thing too is that now I'm curious to see the packaging for some of these figures, right? Like, you know, InArt did a great job with the packaging for this Joker. I'm wondering what Hot Toys is gonna do, right? Like if they saw like the rooted hair thing and they're like, okay, we're gonna do it too. So what's with the packaging? Like, are they gonna do the same thing with when they have like the portrait in a separate stand or something? Or, you know, it's gonna be curious. Is Hot Toys gonna go with magnetic hands at some point? What's next? Movable fingers? I don't know.
Well, because the InArt has seamless forearms. This one, the Hot Toys does not.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's good. These are good things, you know. Like, who knows? If we didn't have InArt, when are we going to get rooted hair from Hot Toys? What, 10 years from now? 5 years from now?
Good rooted
I think
hair,
yeah. Now it just sped up the process. So
the good news is, if you're a Hot Toys collector, before this Joker comes out, we have a good year and a half, so they can experiment on Wonder Woman, maybe Anakin. So by the time that Joker releases, that Joker might have some improvements on it. So yeah, you never know. So
yeah. You
I
can't
guess
go
we'll
wrong
see.
with either one of them. They look good.
No.
They both look good.
Yeah, they both look good. And if you want the sculpted hair Joker, that's going to be available. So it's still going to be a great figure.
Yeah.
And you can still get the InArt. I mean, you can get the Joker InArt rooted. I think Kit still has them. You can get the sculpted one. So it's still available. It's just like Optical said. It's just, you know, it's just a matter of like, you don't have, I mean, you still get after sales support, but it's just not the same as like Sideshow.
It's not ideal. Yeah.
Right. Sideshow is pretty hard to top. I mean, that, you know, even like, you know, I buy my Hot Toys from Comic Concepts. Like I've told people that even getting a replacement from Hot Toys, because he gets it from Sideshow, like it's much easier than an InArt one. It's just,
well, I'm gonna say, so who's gonna try get the Hot Toys Joker? Anyone here?
I'll try.
I don't think so. No,
I don't know. I wouldn't even try. No, I wouldn't even.
Yeah, Anakin, I might try. I might try Anakin. Yeah, even though I do have Dark Side Anakin, I might just I mean, I could sell it though, because the problem is though, Optical and PJ, you know for a fucking fact, bro, they're gonna make a Dark Side Anakin with rooted hair.
They
Like
will.
it's good.
They already teased it.
For sure.
I mean,
they teased,
but
they
I
teased-
think PJ, I think they maybe that's why they haven't shown it yet, because they're like, now that we're going with this whole premium exclusive thing, we're gonna make an exclusive rooted hair Dark Side Anakin.
that will be
Like,
announced
oh my
after this
God,
sells
can you
out.
I think so.
imagine?
After this one sells out, they'll
Sells out,
announce
then
that
you
one.
announce
Yeah.
that.
Or they'll do it
Yeah.
in 2 years for the anniversary. They'll do it then, worst case.